Okay, Locus question again, and then part A is quite straightforward. They just give you 2 points and then ask you the perpendicular bisector of PQ. So roughly draw the position of the graph. 4, -1, so 4, -1. Point P is around here. And then Q is -14, 23. So Q may be around here. And then we just find out the line segment PQ, and then we are talking about the perpendicular bisector. So the first mission is find out the midpoint first. After that, we try to find out the slope of PQ so that we can find out the slope of our perpendicular line L. That's our strategy. So to do this, the first mission, find out the midpoint here. Midpoint of PQ is equal to their coordinate average. 4 and then plus -14 over 2, and y coordinate average is -1 plus 23 divided by 2. So which is -5, and then this is 11. We find out the intercept point is -5, 11 here. And then we try to find out the slope of PQ so that we can trace back what is the slope of our perpendicular line. So slope of PQ and PQ is equal to delta y divided by delta x. So -1 minus 23, and then 4 minus -14. So -4 over 3 is the slope PQ. So, and then since L is perpendicular to PQ, so that we know that their slopes are related. And for perpendicular, their product is equal to -1. So our target times -4 over 3 is equal to -1. Our slope is 3 over 4. It's consistent with our drawing because we predicted that it should be upper sloping in our graph. We finish all the preparation work. It's time to merge them together to get the equation of L. We prepare a general point x, y to express all to represent all the points on this line. So we compare this point together with this point should equal to the slope we find here. So that's why slope is equal to slope. That's the criteria of straight line. Every section of the slope are the same. Left hand side, we use 2 points to compare this to find out the slope. So y minus 11 over x plus 5. And the right hand side, we just use the given slope, or the slope that we already found is 3 over 4. So just tidy up. So that's the answer in part A1, or you may change it to slope intercept form. Y is equal to 3 over 4x and then plus 59 over 4. No matter you write in the standard form or slope intercept form, both will give you the full marks here. And then, but I think the slope intercept form is easier to handle in part 2. After a typical part, now they're asking about G is a point line on L. So L is like this, and then there is a point G, and then x coordinate of G be H. So the first thing in your mind is you already know the relation of all x and y here on this line. They say that G is lying on this line. That means x and y fulfill this requirement. So you won't let it be k because you don't want too many variables. You will let this point be 3 over 4h plus 59 over 4. That's why I say the slope intercept form is easier to handle in the following part because it gives you the output and directly. And then after that, C be a circle which is centered at G. So there is a circle, maybe like this. maybe like this. We don't know how large it is. And then but they give you some restriction, is pass through P. So I may need to draw another graph. Just now for -1, point P is here, and then point Q is here. And then our inverted L, our L is here. And then they say that there is a point G somewhere here, labeled as H, and also 3/4H plus 59/4. And then it's form a circle, and that circle will pass through P. So that means this is the radius, and then it's form a circle like this. But it's not fixed. It's because G can slide along this line, and then maybe it's make the circle bigger or make the circle smaller. But anyway, we already have the direction. How can we find out the equation of this circle? First, we have the center. Next, we need the radius. And the radius can be found out by the distance formula to find out the distance of PG. That's our strategy. So to find out the radius, P here is 4, -1. So PG is equal to the x difference square, PG square, and then plus delta y square. So and then the y coordinate square. We don't simplify or expand it at this moment because I know that there will be similar item if we write down the equation of circle. So I start working of the equation of circle now. Equation of C, any point xy, the distance is the same as radius square. So we use x minus h square plus y minus this whole thing is equal to h minus 4 square, and then plus 3/4h plus 59/4, and then plus 1 square. So keep this item square is more convenient. It's because if we expand it, it will cost lots of time, and also it's easy to make careless mistake. But however, if we keep this format, then it's easier for our calculation. We have y square and then minus 2 times of, and then we also have plus this item, very long thing square. And then here we don't merge it with 1 because I want to keep the whole thing square here. So this is the whole thing square, and then plus 2 times that thing times 1, and then plus 1 square. So now the most difficult part, I may just simply both sides minus it. So that's why it's disappear. And then I just need to handle some fraction with part 1, and also just tidy up those terms. So x squared plus y squared. A little bit more, h squared, we find it is common on both sides also. And then minus 2hx. Right hand side we have I really hate fractions, so, and also that's explain why we have 2 here. So every term we just time 2 first. And then this one combined, we get positive 13h, and then minus 93 to 0. So even after a very uh, complicated calculation, we still get the answer. And then the question is so they know that it's difficult calculation also. That's why they provide you the answer and just ask you to prove it. I think the key to solve this kind of question is you have to a very clear mindset, and then you need to draw. And before you really start writing, you need to set up the strategy to solve this one first. One thing to point out is because this section and this section have the same length, so even you use QG instead of PG to be the radius, you should still get the same answer. And then part B, I want to remind you, even you have totally no idea how to get part A too, but they give you the full equations of a circle already. And then they just say that R pass through this circle. So R is somewhere on this circle, 26, 43, and fulfill the requirement of this equation. That means when x is 26, then y will be 43 here. If you replace every x and y, h will be the only unknown, then you can solve it. So this 3 marks is really easy to test your understanding. Do you know that whenever a point passes through equations or a line or a shape, then it's fulfilled the requirement. That means you can substitute. So since R lies on C, so when x is equal to 26, then y will equal to 43. Then we put it in. Even though this equation is really long, but you find that only unknown is h and its power of 1, so it's form one topic linear equations. So we find out that h is equal to 11, and then we know more about this circle. Now the shape are already fixed. And then we are going to find the diameter of circle. So you have full understanding of this equation, just simply update it, and then find out the radius, and then times 2, you get the answer. So update the information. But before that, there is a little trap. To use the formula, we must make sure it's 1x squared plus 1y squared. It's not the standard form yet. That's why we can't apply the formula. So both sides divide by 2. Now it's very clear. D is negative 22 while E is negative 46. So since radius is equal to no matter you write down negative inside or not, is no problem. So the radius is 25. That's why the diameter is equal to 50.